All right, before I get to Reggie Miller, he was on the Rushmore podcast, and Reggie was asked the Mount Rushmore of dunkers. He said Michael Jordan, Vince Carter, and Dominique Wilkins, and then came the fourth one.
I said the fourth is very difficult.
It is.
It's very, very difficult. I will go with... I do like my Zach LaVine.
Okay.
I do like my Zach LaVine.
Okay.
It's the worst list I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
All right, let's bring in Reggie Miller. Reggie will be on the call. The Clippers and Oklahoma City coming up tonight. Okay.
I said it, and I'm sticking with it.
No, you're not. You left out Dr. J.
I said it, and I'm getting ready to change it right now.
You panicked. Reg, you don't panic.
I didn't panic. I thought, first of all, we all had to come to a consensus. So that was my list. Shaq had he had power dunkers on his list. To omit arguably the founding father of the dunk is a slight omission from my end. But I was going by current events. Zach LaVine, in my opinion, if you've seen some of our dunk contests over the last 10-plus years, he's right up there. Yes, Dr. J should be in there. And arguably he was at the end of the day because all four of us that had this roundtable discussion had to agree on the top four. And yes, people, Dr. J did make the Mount Rushmore of dunkers.
Because I want to know what you do in a game. There's a lot of guys who can dunk in a contest. I don't care.
Very true.
Because, if that's the case, I'm taking Mac McClung.
That's probably as bad a take as Zach LaVine on my end.
No. I'm going to
Theodore.
take Mac McClung over Zach LaVine. Greatest dunkers between those two.
Showmanship, because if that's the case, you could put Aaron Gordon in there as well, because Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine, those two dunk contests between those two guys could have been the best ever.
I just want in-game dunkers. Sean Kemp, in-game dunker. Dominique, in-game dunker.
Yeah.
Mike, Vince Carter, in-game dunker.
In-game.
Dr. J, in-game dunker.
You could make a case for Zach LaVine. We would have to go on YouTube for a few hours to try to find some of those, but we could find a couple of them.
Wow! And then Shaq didn't like your take though on your fourth dunker there.
But again, he was going with power dunkers, Kenyon Martin. I mean, himself. He put himself in there. So this is what I'm up against, going against the big fella.
Okay, let me get to a serious topic here with Ja Morant, because this feels like this is, there's no turning back here. Feels like Ja Morant's checked out. Now, if you're Memphis, what do you do? Where do you send him? Or do you see that maybe there's hope that he reconnects and re-engages here, or is that ship sailed?
I believe the ship has sailed, and I think the only way you're going to be able to turn course is if you get a new coach in there. Because if they keep the current administration, Ja has checked out. I didn't like the comments or the body language after that Laker game. And listening to the comments last night after the loss at home against Detroit, it was almost even worse. Body language tells me everything. And just looking at it, he has checked out. I look at their roster. The oldest player on their roster is 32-year-old Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, champion when he was with Denver. And he's 32, and he's still fairly young. There is no one on that team to go to Ja and say, dude,
yeah,
you got to get it together. And I think that's been a theme over the last 5 to 10 years, looking at some of these rosters, is not having veterans on them. I know this league is getting younger, but to me, Ja needs someone pull him aside, show him some clips. I mean, because this is a bad look. And if you're Memphis, I think you start fielding calls unless you're going to fire your coach. And then that sets a bad precedent, right?
But who wants John Morant?
There'll be a lot of teams that would want John Morant.
Would you?
What do you give up for him?
Okay, if I'm the Hawks, what if the Hawks said, we'll give you Trae Young for John Morant?
I would seriously think about it.
If I'm Memphis, I would do that in a second.
If I'm the Hawks, I don't know if I do that. Trae Young is a walking double-double.
Oh, I agree. I would if I could get Trae Young right now for John Morant.
I would absolutely do it if you're Memphis.
Yeah, if I'm Atlanta, I probably wouldn't do it. But I'm trying to think of other teams where you're going to go, he'll fit in. Like, he doesn't fit in. You kind of have to fit in with him, it feels like. And he's an unbelievable talent, but are you going to send him to Detroit or Houston? I don't know.
He would certainly have to change the way he plays, and I don't think he can, Theodore. I love John Morant, but again, looking at that Laker game and looking last night in that Detroit game, the effort's not there, the hustle's not there, the on the court showmanship that we're used to seeing from Ja is not there. He has lost his love for the game, and once you do that, I don't know if you can ever get that back in that situation.
Yeah.
So what? A new lease on life, a new place, a new destination. Is that going to clear things up? A new coaching regime, is that going to switch it up? Again, both ways. If he asks for a trade or they trade him, he wins. It sets a bad precedent. If you fire the coach and it makes it look like he's a coach killer, that sets a bad precedent. There's going to be no winners in this situation.
Talking to Reggie Miller. Reggie will be on the call with Terry Gannon, and it'll be Oklahoma City visiting Kawhi. And is Kawhi playing?
I have no idea. I saw him tweak that ankle with a little over 2 minutes left in that fourth quarter. Look, the Clippers have always taken, as you know, a cautious approach. Even if he wouldn't have rolled that ankle, they usually don't play him in back-to-backs. Though he did come out this summer and said he wanted to play back-to-backs, and I think that's what they were gearing up for. But after seeing that, now, again, he finished the game, but it was only 2 minutes left in that fourth quarter where they ended up losing by 1 last night to the Heat. I don't think he will play because they will take that caution approach because they need Kawhi come March, April, May. So I think they'll take the cautious approach and probably not play him. From a selfish standpoint for NBC, yes, I would love for him to play tonight going against the defending champs who are undefeated, but I just don't think they'll take that approach.
Game time is 8 p.m. Pacific on NBC and Peacock. Is Kawhi's career a disappointment?
No. Are you kidding me? 2 rings, 2 finals MVP. That was a joke, right?
No, because he could have. When he played, he was great. But I think when I say Kawhi Leonard, people don't talk about 2 rings and 2 finals MVPs. They talk about a guy who had load management, almost the face of load management.
I will also say this. He, believe, is on the all-time team with me, the top 75 team as well. How could that ever be considered a disappointment?
Well,
anytime you can win any chip, 2 finals MVPs with 2 different teams. With 2 different teams.
But if I say his name,
that is an amazing career.
That what comes up is that how much he plays or doesn't play. First ballot Hall of Famer.
I'll say this. First ballot Hall of Famer, and when healthy and playing and engaged, which he is come playoff time, man, that dude is a tough out. Yeah, I would take that career. Please give me that career.
No, you can still have a great career, but also wonder what could. Mike Trout is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
But what if?
right?
What if him?
Like Kobe and Shaq together. What if?
What if?
Great when they
What
played, but what if? So you can have those questions.
But those what ifs that you're saying for Kobe and Shaq, they still had 3 rings together.
They should have had 6.
They could have. I mean, you could have made the same thing for keeping the Bulls together.
For one more year.
Right?
For one more year. Yeah.
What if?
I also want to ask you about your. Did you have a power forward? Your 4 power forwards for the Mount Rushmore. Did you have that? Is there?
We did.
Okay. Marvin, you want to set this up? Is this the 4th power forward? Yes, Marvin.
Yes. So Reggie and Shaq were on the Rushmore podcast, and so Reggie's first 3, was Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, and Kevin Garnett. And he says his fourth isn't shocking, but who he says could have been on was a little surprising to me.
All right, play it.
I'm going to go with Sir Charles. I easily could have put Dennis Rodman in that list. I easily could have done that.
Okay.
On my Mount Rushmore.
Okay. All right. Do you want
Not a bad list.
Yeah, it's not bad. I would have put
Kevin
McHale.
Here's the argument. Here's the argument that was going on in the room.
Okay.
Because obviously Giannis probably can and should be. He could be on my list. Absolutely. I've told people before. I told the basketball gods this. I've said this publicly. If I come back, if the basketball gods could bless me with Giannis's talent and my jump shot, I would be the greatest player to have ever played the game of basketball. Easily. Just give me Giannis and my jump shot and then leave me alone. No one would ever be able to touch me. So, yes, he could have been on my Mount Rushmore, but the argument was going with, because Ari Emanuel, it's his podcast, he was going with chips. That's why Dennis Rodman entered the conversation. And people are like, Dennis Rodman is probably only the greatest rebounder. How can he? We're looking at total effects on games. He changed series. So we started putting numbers up, like what did Charles average against him? What did Carl average? Those numbers dropped because we were looking at the defensive side too. So that's why Dennis Rodman, I could say I could easily slot them in there. But yes, Giannis was on a lot of other people's top 4, and arguably should be. Again, give me his talent in my jump shot, and don't say anything else to me.
I think Kevin McHale would be higher than Dennis Rodman.
His name was highly discussed. We agree with that. I agree with you on that.
Okay, I want to run this up the ladder at Peacock and NBC. The next round of interviews with Michael Jordan, I would like for you to do the interview.
Okay, funny you say that. Not that it's like I would love to do it, and this is the premise. We just both walk in a room and sit down. Cameras rolling.
No exchange. No friendly exchange.
None of that. Let's just both walk in, sit down, look at each other, and just go. Whatever comes out, comes out.
I love it.
Look, I want to do it. I'm low man on the totem pole over there at NBC. Right now, we're rolling out these features with the great Mike Tirico, who's done a fabulous job interviewing MJ. But yes, I would love to have an open dialogue, Theodore, with MJ, because there's certain things I would love to talk about.
Revisit. Okay. I'd like to
People act like I don't like MJ. I love MJ. But when you go against a brother for as many years as I did, you built up a certain disdain. Can you say that? Can I say that?
Yeah.
You built up a certain tolerance. And there was always mutual respect. I'm carefully trying to script my words here.
Yeah, you don't want it to get back to Mike. And he said, what did he say?
No, look, it's always going to get back to Mike. Mike hears and sees everything. It'll always get back to him.
But
I just want him to know how much I do respect him. But let's just walk in a room together and just talk.
Phil Jackson.
The camera's rolling.
Phil Jackson has a book that's coming out, and it talks about the exchange that you and Mike had, where you were talking trash to him, and then I think Phil says Mike scores like 5 or 6 baskets in a row, and saying, "Don't you ever talk bleep about me or to me again." Is that true?
Unfortunately, it is true, people.
But you were willing to stand up to Mike, and not many guys did.
I had an unfiltered mouth. And maybe it was my upbringing in a military family, being a military brat and getting my butt beat by my older sister and older brothers all the time. I had diarrhea of the mouth, and I just could not stop. And I didn't care who you were or what your accomplishments were. I felt I was always the best player, knowing I wasn't, but you got to have that belief. And he put the fear in a lot of people. And trust me, there was times when I was like, this dude, but I didn't love him, respect him, but damn, I also hated him too. I did.
If he would have asked you to join the Bulls, would you have?
Man, stop it. Please stop that.
Like later in your career?
No way.
No?
No. There's just no way.
Okay.
There is absolutely no way. And I know people are going to be like, well, yeah, that's why you don't have any rings. Probably so. It's true. Yeah. But I can't do that. That goes against everything I was taught from Magic and Michael Cooper and that goes against everything.
All right.
If you can't beat them, you just go in the corner and sit down. Just go away then. If you hey, that's it.
What if Magic called you and said, if Magic said, hey, would you like to join?
That's a different story.
Yeah. Now that's different. I'm playing for the Lakers.
Now that's different. That's a little different.
Okay.
I only saw the Lakers twice a year.
All right, I'm running this up the flagpole at NBC. The next time that Tirico is going to sit down, Mike comes in, and then Tirico goes, hey, I got to go. Reggie's going to do the interview.
Oh, my God. The fireworks. Some of the things that would be said, people don't understand. Like, Mike and I and our good friend Jack Haley, God rest his soul, who's looking down on us, smiling, we hope. Like, we used to be locked in a room, playing talking shit, and just talking basketball. And there were some things that were said in these. It was, trust me, just have me walk in, and just sit down. Just want to look at them.
Do you need to bring the Davis brothers with you if you want that?
Well, he's going to bring Oak with him.
Oh, so if he brings Oak.
He's bringing Oak, I'm bringing Dale. All right? We'll let the muscle handle each other out, and then he and I can handle our business.
Reggie will be on the call with Terry Gannon tonight. The Clippers maybe with Kawhi against OKC, 8 p.m. Pacific on NBC and Peacock. Thank you, Reg. Talk to you later.
You are truly the best. Love you, Danettes.
We'll come back. Last call for phone calls. We got a trade with the Raiders and Jags. Have that for you right after this.